you still looking at me? Why
I'm a believer, boys. I believe that if Call of Duty can revive its somewhat dead franchise with Modern Warfare, so can Halo. And let's be real here. Halo the past few years has been doo. Minus the Master Chief Collection and Halo Wars 2, of course, those being the only exceptions, really. The only communities left on Halo 5 are role players and their LARPing buddies, super sweaty kids who become edgy if their KD drops too low, and let's not forget the boys who religiously play custom games. And that legit sums up most of the Halo 5 community. They all have their respective YouTube corners as well. I personally, for one, enjoy Halo 5, but it's not in my top 5 Halos by any stretch of the imagination. It's not an awful game, but after so many years, it's hard to stay on the game continuously and still have fun, especially when those are the communities you have to choose from for that game. Personally, the only reason I'm getting the new Xbox next year is for Halo Infinite. Think about this. Microsoft is making Halo the face of the new Xbox. They have confidence in 343 Industries to bring back arguably the most loved franchise back to the main stage. And just looking at the trailers that have been released thus far, I can comfortably say that Halo Infinite will reignite the flames of Halo. Could you imagine, alright, let's just take a second here. Could you imagine the amount of pubescent boys who would play the game if Ninja does and like he actually enjoys it? The game needs a lot of work, you know. It needs a solid campaign and multiplayer that is filled with bots and pros alike. No skill-based matchmaking, no pushing for a competitive scene in casual multiplayer, no extra advanced movement system. Just Halo-styled multiplayer is what will feed the flames of success for this game. I think, for one, 343 has learned their mistake from Halo 5. You either have to go all in for competitive play or you go all in for casual play. The only way they coexist is if you separate them. And we see that with Fortnite. You can't just have, you can't have pros playing with casuals. It ruins the game for casuals and it kind of ruins the game for pros cuz they shit on everybody. You can't be ripped and look like Goku, but eat and be lazy like Majin Buu. Same thing applies for games. However, you can have some exceptions. You can train and eat like Goku, but have a day where you eat what you want, like Majin Buu. But like anything, this only works in moderation. You can't push for the entire game to be casual because that ruins it for the competitive players. And it works the same way with competitive play. You can't make it completely lopsided. A good example of a game that made the perfect balance was, in fact, Black Ops 2, ironically enough. If you wanted some competitive, sweaty, like my girlfriend just said she missed her period type of gameplay, you went to League play. If you wanted to play some fun rounds of craziness, you went into Ground War and played with your buddies. I think that 343 realizes that. They realize the core mechanics of Halo now. They understand what the community wants. They see the players and the potential players they can reach out to. They have created a situation for themselves to have the best selling Halo game ever. Because gaming is much more different than it was in 2010. Dude, in a couple of months, 2010 will have been a decade ago. Some of our favorite moments will be in an entirely different decade. The pedestal that games are held on now are so entirely different than they were before. Games aren't seen as time wasters to a lot of parents now. There are literally 13-year-olds who will have made more in one check than I have in 15, and they'll continue to do that. And YouTube is a platform for gamers to express themselves. Colleges are even now allowing competitive esports into their campuses. Halo has been hidden in the dark for some time as well, just like the Miami Dolphins football team. But that's for a different video. But this is the best possible thing for Halo Infinite. Instead of them grasping for straws wondering what people like, they're able to take their time and observe the forever changing gaming scene. Maybe they'll have a battle pass, because we kind of see that in some of the new Halo Reach development that's been going on that was shown to us recently. You can go and check some YouTubers out. I'm sure that they'll show you. Ubernick is a good person to see if you're interested in that. And just as all games seem to have nowadays, they can have a battle pass. Maybe they'll make the game into seasons like Fortnite does. Who knows what they'll do? However, they aren't stupid. It's no doubt that Halo 5 was a much needed step up from Halo 4. However, it wasn't quite the game people were expecting. And they had to make Halo 5 like that because of Halo 4. And I think that they understand that they needed a soft reboot like they're doing now. The good thing Halo 5 did was keep people interested enough to be excited for the next Halo game. But unlike Call of Duty, who will have their fans purchase the game whether they think it's awful or not, Halo can't stand a shitty game release. They will crumble, and Halo will just be another thing we will miss about the golden days of gaming. I know 343 knows this. They know that without a good game under their belt, they will not have a good future if they even have one at all. So for everyone who's being pessimistic about the game, I say you should relax, because all the marbles are on the table now. They have nothing to lose. And personally, I think you should wait until gameplay is at least shown. The game is very, very easy to hate when you know very little about it. If you think the game isn't going into the direction you hoped, then by all means trash talk the game. Personally, I don't think 343 is going to mess this chance up. Just like in an abusive relationship, there's always that tipping point where you tell John that enough is enough. And no, I do not condone domestic violence. I'm just stating the facts, people. We've been bruised and beaten by 343 in their last two releases. Don't think people will forgive them a third time. Your first offense is understandable. Your second offense is tolerated, yet frowned upon. And your third offense is always like slicing butter with a hot knife. Thus far, 343 has shown that they are listening to people very closely. They've even gone as far as to remastering Halo Reach and giving the Master Chief Collection to PC to hold its people over till Halo Infinite's release. Now, they are taunting their luscious asses right in our face by giving us information little by little about Halo Infinite, and with every little piece of info we get closer and closer to those luscious cheeks being completely stripped down. And mark these words, ladies and gentlemen, and you can come back to this video and shit on me all you want. Halo Infinite will be one of the best Halo games made. It might not be the best, but it will be one of the best. I'm willing to stick my dick inside a blender if it's not. I'm confident the game's going into a direction that we've been waiting for years to play. Not only will this give players that have been waiting to play a great Halo game for years, and it'll give them that itch that they've desired, but it'll also open a new gateway for younger and newer players to get engaged in the trilogy of Halo. So if you take anything from this, video, take this please. Be patient and decide whether or not Halo deserves another chance when you witness the gameplay with your own eyes. Don't listen to any YouTubers, including myself, about how they feel. Form your own opinion and decide. You're a human being. You do have a brain. You can make decisions yourself. But that's for a different video as well. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new and comment your thoughts and opinions. I'd love to hear them. But until next time, peace out, my dudes.